Good evening, school board. This is the equity update on student access to leadership events and activity conferences beyond the Sun Prairie Area School District on May 13th, 2024. And tonight I am joined with Renee Coleman, the principal at Sun Prairie East High School, Deontay Pruitt, the restorative practice coach at Patrick Marsh Middle School, Reggie Williams, the youth advocate at Sun Prairie East High School, and David Mitchell, also a youth advocate at Sun Prairie East High School. And tonight's agenda will go in this order. I will align the work of creating student access and opportunities to the equity framework, cover the purpose of that work and our why. And then there will be several of my colleagues here who will share various examples of events and activities that students have had the opportunity to participate and engage in, and the impact that those events and activities have had on the students. We will talk about next steps, what's coming up next, and then close with gratitude. Our commitment to equity and excellence through continuous improvement is clear. It's clear in our vision, it's clear in our mission, it's clear in our equity framework, as well as in our strategic plan. Our strategic plan identifies three key pillars, and each of those pillars have goals in there. So there's a total of 6 goals that you can see in that center. This work in this presentation speaks to the way that we are meeting the goal of educational excellence. So this goal here, by creating environments where every child feels welcome and able to succeed in order to create the necessary conditions for learning, and those conditions for learning that foster a culture of care. The purpose of this presentation is, and this initiative is because qualitative data in our system indicates that our students of color historically have not felt a sense of belonging in school. Student leadership events and activities create opportunities for our students to feel seen, valued, heard, supported, and especially for our most marginalized students, our Black and Brown students. It creates infinity spaces for students to be amongst other students who share similar life experiences, including challenges faced in school and challenges that they face in the communities that spill over into the schools. It creates exposure for students of color and dismantles the false narrative that success does not mirror who our students are. In other words, it puts students in spaces and in places where the leaders, the adults, look like our students. And the purpose is to create networking and collaboration opportunities with other scholars from Dane County, and in school districts to discuss and creatively address global issues and topics. I'm going to turn it over to Reggie to talk about the Medicine 365 Leadership Summit. I'm sorry, Deontay Pruitt.
Good evening. I'm Deontay Pruitt, the restorative practices coach over at Patrick Marsh Middle School. And I just want to, talk a little bit about the leadership summit that we went to in November. The students were very excited. It was a great opportunity for them. And mainly they learned about the importance of elevating their voice and, having equitable representation, seeing great leaders from Dane County that, look like them and came from backgrounds similar to them. It was real sweet to just see the interaction, the questions that they asked the panel leaders, and the connections that was made. It was really great to witness. And also the other panel I like to highlight is they talked about coding and AI, and how about how now is a great time for our students to start learning about those areas and getting knowledge and seeing if that could be a future for them, and they was talking about like, you can go the college route, but that's so ripe. And, it's such a moment in those two areas, AI and coding, that, a lot of students can learn, on their own or through the internet, and, kind of can bypass the college and kind of can have a real fruitful career in that area. So it was super exciting. And hopefully we can have the opportunity of going to something like that again next year. Next slide.
Justify Student Leadership Board.
My name is David Mitchell, and I am a youth advocate over at Sun Prairie East High School. And the Student Leadership Board, we had 2 students who participated in the leadership board out in Verona, and it was a great opportunity for them to come together with other students in the Madison area to help to plan out the Justify Summit. It was a great opportunity for them because it was a space where it was created for student voice and to give them the opportunity to collaborate with, again, in the greater Madison area about things and initiatives that need to be addressed in that space. And the culmination was to have the Justify Summit.
The African American History Challenge Bowl, and we have Renee who's going to just share more about the African American History Challenge Bowl.
Good evening again, Sun Prairie Area School District Board members. My name is Renee Coleman. I'm the principal at Sun Prairie East High School. I have the fortunate opportunity to talk about the African American History Challenge Bowl. Sun Prairie East was able to participate with this opportunity last year, and we were able to participate again this year. What a wonderful experience for our scholars. Just to give you a little brief history, this is the 29th year of operation for this bowl under the 100 Black Men of Madison. This educational program was really an opportunity to enhance the study of the African American history and culture, which we know is not always apparent in all the curriculum, but it gave students an opportunity to really learn about the history of African American, and it's not just about slavery. We really addressed and got a deep understanding of our roots and started a cultural belief that began in Africa. The 2024 African American History Competition was for both high school and middle school students. We had that competition held at Sun Prairie East High School this year. It also includes Madison Metropolitan School District, the Verona Area School District, and the Middleton Cross Plains Area School District, and of course, Sun Prairie Area School District. We're very excited about being able to participate for the last 2 years. Our secondary sites were able to obtain resources. We were able to get the book where we were able to dive deep. There was a wonderful resource versus the one that we used last year. It had wonderful graphics, QRA codes where kids can tap into to enhance inquiry and to really further their knowledge. This was a wonderful opportunity for students who have not been able to participate in our HBCU trip by visiting museums that house this wonderful history. This book was able to tap in and you can visit and be able to explore. On March 8th, 4 of our secondary schools participated in the local African American History Challenge organized by the 100 Black Men. Sun Prairie West and Prairie View advanced and went on to compete on a more regional level on March 15th at Verona High School, where winners will be able to move on to compete on a national level. Even though our 2 teams were not able to progress to national level, we're seeing a higher increase in being enthusiastic about learning about the African American culture, not on a competitive level, but just finding out it's more than just slavery and civil rights and Martin Luther King. 17 students participated, of which 70% of our students identify with Black and African American heritage. We had 6% Asian, 6% white, and 18% 2 or more races. Thank you for an opportunity to talk about a wonderful experience. We look for partnership in future. Next slide.
The Dane County BSU Coalition. The next couple of slides are going to be shared by Reggie Williams from Sun Prairie East High School.
Good morning. My name is Reginald Williams. I'm a youth advocate here at Sun Prairie East High School. On what day was that? I forgot the day, but we had the 3rd of May, we had the Dane County BSU Coalition. 25 students from Sun Prairie East High School participated in the first annual Dane County BSU Coalition. And that was on April 19th in Madison College. The BSU students from surrounding school districts came together and shared and collaborated on things that that the Black community need to talk about amongst our students here, and how BSU functions and how they recruit and advocate and set goals to take actions for their BSU and their schools and their community. BSU students and advisors from McFarland, Monona Grove, Middleton, Madison Memorial, and Wanakee, and also Sun Prairie all participated. Students from Sun Prairie East High School shared their HBCU college tour experience, and they learned how they organize things for the school and how college fairs work, and through student leadership, and interact with other students and see how they felt, and how their BSU was unrepresented or misrepresented. We also had Percy Brown, who spoke. He's a good friend of mine, and I've been knowing him for a couple of years. And he has a company that they started something called Beef. It's Black Academic Education Foundation. And I think that's something that we want to bring to Sun Prairie next year, you know what I'm saying, once we get a little more information about it. Okay, the Black Male Summit was the next level workshop and speaker series. The next level workshop and the speaker series was presented by people building opportunities through grace and action, PEBGA. Took place on April 29th through May 1st at Madison College. This was the 4th annual workshop sponsored by PEDOGA. Students who participated were provided with information and resources on financial literacy, mental health, social media, and conflicts resolution, etc. Discussion sessions focuses on issues of negativity affecting Black American males, provided tips and strategies to overcome these issues. The focus of this event was to reduce barriers that impact individual growth and success. Workshop topics included financial literacy, making good decisions, conflict resolution, peer pressure, career choices, and mental health. 11 students attended from Sun Prairie East and Sun Prairie West and PPA, for which 64% of our students identify as Black Americans and 9% Hispanic and Latin, and 25% on 2 or more races.
The Brianna Karlinkis was going to present on the Youth Justify Summit, and just to give Reggie a break there. So the most recent Youth Justify Summit that happened last week, where Reggie, along with Brianna, helped to ensure that students were able to attend. I want to like really emphasize how vital our youth advocates are in our school community, because the Youth Justify Summit, while well organized, and I'm going off script a little bit, while very well organized, we ran into a number of transportation hurdles with getting students to be able to attend the Youth Justify Summit, because it's May. And transportation is very limited around this time of year, with so many schools taking field trips. And so our youth advocates, our community liaison, Brianna Karlinkis, and Robin worked with our business services department to explore all of the possible ways to ensure that our students would be able to attend. And ultimately, we were able to have 9 students from Sun Prairie East, West, and Prairie Phoenix Academy attend the Youth Justify Summit. And as David Mitchell shared, this was the culmination of what began earlier in the year when we sent 2 students to serve as planners for the event. And so at the Youth Justify Summit, students chose workshop sessions that brought them together to collaborate, set goals, and outline practical steps for positive change. Some of those topics included social justice, generational viewpoints and traditions, trauma cycles, building self-awareness, and they spent time discussing and exploring opportunities in equity, social justice, beyond high school. Students who attended participated in a student panel where they were able to hear from other school districts and students on the different steps that they have taken to create transformative change, both personally and academically. Of our 9 students who attended, those students represented are Black and African American, are identified as Black or African American, Hispanic, and 2 or more races. We do have 2 upcoming events, including one this week, Friday, also experiencing transportation issues and working behind the scenes very diligently and extensively with our business services department and our transportation provider, Cobason, as well as just our staff at our school sites, including our principals and youth advocates. We're going to be taking students to the African American Youth Conference in Milwaukee, which is hosted by the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And then later this month, in a couple of weeks, we have the Black Girl Magic Conference, which is coming up on May 23rd. And so those are the 2 upcoming events. And I also, as the Department of Systemic Equity and Inclusion continues to grow, in terms of how we acknowledge other heritages and cultures and uplift and elevate other heritages and cultures that represents our diverse community of student, staff, and caregivers and parents. We also want to ensure that we are creating and finding and collaborating with organizations to create opportunities that extend, that represents all of our students, especially our most marginalized. And so we are looking for opportunities to collaborate and create events and activities that are specifically aimed at our Hispanic Latinx population, our Hmong population, our indigenous population, as well as any other racial demographic that we serve in our school community. And so those are our goals coming into the 24-25 school year. I want to close by extending gratitude to the school board for the strong vision, mission, and equity framework. Our superintendent, Dr. Brad Sarin, our district administration, all of our assistant superintendents, Steph and Nick, or Dr. Rykoff, and soon to be Dr. Leonard, as well as Brianna Kalinkas, Priscilla Gardner, Deontay Pruitt, Val Shumpert, David Mitchell, Renee Coleman, Brittany Herrera, Jemiah Gardner, Mizere Campbell, James Edison, Renee Johnson, Robin Rake, the secondary leadership team, the school counselors, and the youth advocates. Some of us are featured in this recording, and we are recording this at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. And so many of the major contributors and supporters who are responsible for ensuring that our students have access to these events and opportunities are not able to be a part of the presentation. And so I want to name them. Also, in collaboration with some of our local partners, Medicine 365, 100 Black Men of Medicine, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, the Department of UW-Milwaukee's Department of African and African Diaspora Studies, Dane County Equity Consortium, and the many organizations that support our students and their continued need for leadership opportunities. And I'd be remiss if I did not also include, who's not added on this slide, but Madison College. Thank you for taking the time to review our slide deck and listen to the presentation on opportunities and events that we create for our students that extend beyond Sun Prairie Area School District. Thank you.